Hi guys, this is Tim with Filthy Cleaning Solutions here in Pace, Florida, and I wanted to make a video kind of talking about what I did to start a business and kind of walk everyone else through the steps that no one walked me through. It kind of help out. So you want to start a business, in particular a carpet cleaning business. That's what I run. Um, you definitely want to have your first mindset on what kind of business you want to run. So for me, I'm going to talk about carpet cleaning, and this can relate to any other business, but more so I'm going to talk about carpet cleaning. So your first step that you really should do, and that I recommend, and I feel like it's a make it or break it, is come up with a business plan. With any business, you want to start out with a business plan. Um, Talking about what audience you want to capture, how you're going to do it, uh, what kind of materials you need or equipment, what kind of assets, or how you're going to find a way to pay for that equipment if you already have the assets or you have to get a loan for it. Um, and then, purchasing everything, and then your first job. So, um, or your first sell, or however you want to look at it. So, definitely get yourself a business plan. If you don't know how to write a business plan, you can just Google how to write a business plan, and it'll come up with multiple steps. There's different ones. Highly recommend sitting down and writing up a good business plan. Spend time on the business plan. Don't try to short it because you're only shorting yourself. Um, just sit down and do the business plan. So for carpet cleaning, I sat down and I figured out how much things were going to cost. I sat down and figured out what um, what audience I was going to capture, and I'll kind of show you what my business plan looked like. So I'm going to bring that up here if I can switch screens. Okay, so for my business plan, this is what it sort of looks like, right? So I got the name of the company up top. What am I going to be doing? Well, I'm going to be doing carpet cleaning, tile, rugs, tile and grout cleaning, right? So um, then I looked at the prices from other businesses in the area. So what I did was I grabbed four businesses in the area, two that are big businesses, for example, like Stanley Steamers, and then two big businesses that are well known and two businesses that are local, that are like me. So I grabbed four businesses total, and then I got a median of their prices, and this is how I come up with what I came up with the prices. So this is just an example of a business plan that I made. Okay, there's a lot of them out there, but this is what I did. I went through with what service I'm providing, the cost of services that I would be charging, my competition. So I looked up local competition, and there was a total of 14 in my area. So that meaning obviously competition, that's who you're going to be competing against, right? So it's kind of important that you look at that, because if you are trying to start a business and say there's 200 competitors in your area, the odds of you getting jobs are going to be pretty low, and you should probably try to think of something else. But with our area, it's kind of it's an up and coming area. It's quite popular now. Um, so I figure with 14 businesses, I would benefit off of that, right? And I just used Google. I didn't use Yelp or anything else. I figured that if a business is good or is off well, then they're going to be using Google. Um, then I went to the costs, right? So how much things are going to cost. I went through the main things that I'm going to need. So I listed down the main piece of equipment, and then I went down, I searched for each one of them. I made a link to each one of them so I can review it later when it was time to purchase. And so this is what I had come up with, right? And then I come up with examples of how much money I can make per week, year, things like that, with how many jobs, um, per day, things like that, and the possible outcome of having, long term getting very busy. Um, and then I also, after doing that, I looked at getting a loan, and if I got a loan, this would be how many jobs it would take to pay off at a certain amount to get it paid off, right? So this is my business plan, and it may not look like a lot. It may look very generic and short, but there was a lot of hours that got put into this. Trying to find what you need for your business is pretty critical, right? Like if you go into a business, like for example, I'm going into the carpet cleaning business, and I don't really know what I needed. So it took a lot of research, a lot of watching of the videos, a lot of um, reviewing other content creators and seeing how they run their stuff, and then I kind of base mine off of that. So it took a lot of research to find out what I needed. Now, if you've already been working in this field or the field you want to make or go into, that's what you would already know what you kind of need. So, anyways, business plan. Get a good business plan. Step one, business plan. All right. So step two. Step two, I would highly recommend going and getting your business license, right? So if you want to have a fictitious name being something that's not your first last name and whatever you're doing. Um, like example, Bobby Flay's Cooking, right? So if you wanted to have it ABC Cooking, then that's called a fictitious name. You have to go apply for that through your state. In the state of Florida here, you go to sunbiz.org, I think it was called, and then you pay. It was like $120, give or take, somewhere around there, to get your fictitious name. Once you get that, it comes in the mail. You bring that item up to your local tax collector, and then you get your business license with the papers that your state gives you for your fictitious name. If you try to go and anyways in the state of Florida, I don't know about all the other states, but if you just try to go get a business license and you try to name it whatever you want, it won't fly. They won't do it. So they'll just look at you like you're an idiot and then tell you to go fix it. So yeah, so definitely step two, get your business license. And then for me, my step three that I did was after I got my business license, I reviewed the cost of insurance and things like that. Um, I went to I went to getting all this stuff together, right? So getting ready to buy. I looked at there's multiple different ways you can go about paying for something. Fortunately, I had the savings after being in the military for a bit. I had the savings to purchase everything off the top, um, and so it's very fortunate that I was able to do that. However, I had looked into different options. So there's a website called Small Business Association. So if you just Google like SBA, or I think the website's like sba.gov. Don't quote me on that. Definitely Google it. But the Small Business Association, it's a government ran site. They have fixed loans at a certain percentage, and you pay the loaner off over a set time period. Um, and it's a pretty incredible way to get assets purchased, through someone who's willing to give you money for a business that may or may not, kick off. It's pretty big. But just know that if you go through and have someone loan you money, they're going to put a blanket loan onto your business. So if your business doesn't work out the way you want it to, they obviously are going to be able to take everything, or however all that stuff runs. Um, so definitely doing that. So after I had purchased all my equipment, and I'll kind of show you what I purchased here. Um, the the items that I purchased were quite expensive. to say the very least, and this isn't everything by no means, but this is my initial purchase here. So I had to screen capture it because on the website it shows a lot of information that I just don't want to share. But I went through and this is the things that I had purchased here. So this being the truck mount or your main vacuum that sits out in your vehicle or trailer, however you're running your business. And then all the other accessories that I needed at the time. When I thought this was everything that I needed, it turns up it wasn't everything I needed. I was actually short quite a few more items. As you see here, I don't have any detergent purchased. I have no pre-spray. I have no sprayer. I have no upholstery tool. There was a lot of things that I had to go back and repurchase. Um, so definitely, it's not cheap. In the carpet cleaning industry, you'll definitely notice when you start purchasing everything on your own, you'll notice that there's things that it'll just blow your mind how expensive they are. Um, for really no reason. Just because you know you're a business owner or trying to start a business, and these commercial companies can charge what they want because no one else is making, no one else is fabricating these items that you need to run your business. So there are ways around buying a giant vacuum, kind of like what I got here. I went with an electric vacuum or electric truck mount, anyways, rather than a diesel or gas powered truck mount that goes in a van. So I actually run my business out of an enclosed trailer. Um, it's a little bit cheaper for me to run out of a trailer because if I run out of a van, I don't have to worry about purchasing another car insurance. I don't have to worry about maintenance of that vehicle. Maintenance on a trailer is very easy. Uh, the vehicle that the truck, I own it. I don't owe nothing on my truck, so I'm gonna end up selling it to the business one day anyways, and then it'll be a nice tax write-off for the business. But anyways, that's I'm gonna use my own vehicle, and then I'm gonna tow a trailer, and I'm gonna run everything out of a trailer for a good while. Maybe down in the future, if I get a successful business going, I might purchase a van and just shift everything into the van. But for right now, it's going to be you ran out of an enclosed trailer. So the prices you see here does not include the enclosed trailer, and if you were to run it out of a van, it does not include the van, right? So running an electric truck mount out of a van, I'm not going to lie to you, I don't even know how to begin on how to do that for you, because you have to have some way to power your unit. And I have a video up talking about like the unit when I first purchased it. Um, it had a four prong power cable in the back of it. It was a 30 amp, 240 volt, four prong dryer cable. It was 5 foot long. I don't know what they actually expected to come out of that. I don't know if they expected you to just drag it into a customer's house every time, this 250-pound machine, and plug it into their dryer outlet. I don't really know what they were thinking with that. So I ended up having to change that out and use a different cable. And I have a generator that I run everything on that sits in the back of my trailer. So there's a lot of things that you should look at when running a carpet cleaning business. Um, there's things that you're just not expecting. The pictures on these websites aren't what you actually get because these things change every year. Now I purchase everything, pretty much everything that I own besides my trailer and generator. I purchased on SteamBright. You can just Google SteamBright. I had a couple issues. A guy named Donald who has all the videos there. I'm sure if you watch any of the videos on their website, he explains a little bit about the equipment. Great customer service. They're willing to help you out. 5 out of 5 on the customer service aspect. But I'm not affiliated with them, so if you have any bad problems, good problems, or bad or good, I'm not affiliated with them at all. So use just your own risk. But they did me good, and I appreciate them. When I purchased my initial, what you saw here on the screen, what I had purchased, I didn't actually have some of the required pieces for the hosing to like hose adapters. I bought 150 foot of hose, but I didn't buy hose adapters to put the hose together to sit on the reel. And that's just one of the things that I didn't think about when I was purchasing everything. So definitely they help you out for sure if you decide to go with them, or I'm sure any other company. Just leave a note in there saying you're starting a business and things like that. They have business startup kits, but I didn't really want any part of the business startup kits. It just wasn't for me what they had. There was a lot of extras and there was a lot of stuff that was left out, and I felt like it just wasn't for me. So, but anyways, definitely step three: purchase everything. Right? Whether you do it with a loan or however, you definitely should purchase everything. Keep your receipts. It's all tax write-offs. Um, and a little piece of help. If you're gonna start your business at the end of the year, like for example, I thought about this stuff in October. I started going through with everything in November, and about mid-December is when I was ready to purchase all my items. And I ended up holding off on that because if you purchase everything in December, then on January 1st or 15th or whatever it is, the tax season ends, right? So you can't use any of that stuff for write-off. So if you don't actually make any money in that calendar year after you purchase everything, the write-offs are pointless, right? So if you're gonna do it at the end of the year, do the best you can. Stay at your job. Hold off until the following year. And that's when I purchase everything in the beginning of January, and I'm gonna be able to use this as a tax write-off for the 2021 tax season, which would be nice help. I mean, it's a good bit of money. Yeah. So after you purchase everything and you get everything in your vehicle or your trailer, however you're gonna run it, um, you know, get a website going. Uh, I use GoDaddy for my website. I'll leave a website down on my website in the description so you can kind of see how I ran things. And it was like $103 for the first year, and then 200 after that every year, subsequent year. So definitely get yourself a website made. My headset cut out on me. I apologize. Gotta plug it in. But get yourself a website made. Not don't only just use a. All right, sorry about that. Don't only just use a Facebook or Craigslist ad, but definitely get yourself a website. It looks professional. Um, you definitely should run a website. It does take a little bit of time to set up, um, but once you get it running, it looks great. And whenever you go to Facebook and you're posting your advertisement, or someone's asking, can I get this cleaned, that cleaned? My dog peed on my expensive rug or whatever have you. You can just throw a link on the website of your website on Facebook versus just a Facebook page. A little bit more official, more professional. Um, so get yourself established on Google. So Google will send you. I don't really want to show all of my stuff here, but Google will send you a little piece of mail. I got mine in the mail today. After you go on Google and you go to make a new website, it's under Google Business. So if you just type in Google Business on Google, it'll come up. So that's how you get yourself on Google Maps. Um, it's free to get on Google Maps. Uh, People can leave you reviews there. You can have that linked to your website and also have it linked to Facebook so other people can see those reviews. Um, get that going. Get yourself a Yelp. Yelp is free, with the exception of like there's certain little things they try to get you with. They're gonna call you and you're gonna get hounded day after day, Monday through Friday, all day long. You're gonna get hounded after starting a business. I don't know how these people know they're a new business starting. I mean I don't really have much advertisement. Um, I don't understand how they know that I was starting a business, and all these people are constantly contacting me. It sounds like people from overseas saying they can get you top of Google for $5 a month and all this kind of stuff, and it's fake. It's absolutely fake. Don't fall for it. It's a scam. You're gonna get calls, and they're just gonna hound you with calls. They're gonna call you all the time, and when you decline the call, they call right back, and they call right back, and they call right back. It's pretty crazy. It's a pretty crazy thing. My phone only rang when friends and family called, and now I'm getting phone calls. I'm getting 30 plus phone calls a day from people trying to sell me some kind of get on top of Google. We got one spot today on Google. Do you want it? And Yelp calling you, and it's just a lot of stuff. Just don't buy into it. Like, don't believe in it. It's a scam. I promise you, if Google charges up to $1,000 a month to get you on top of Google, and that is actual Google doing it. These other places, they probably have click bots that just randomly click your website, and it's just not healthy for your website. It Just don't do it. It's a scam. Um, Another thing, after getting all that stuff up and running, um, you need a business account. Um, Now, a business account was one of the trickiest, believe it or not, one of the trickiest parts for me um, to get. I went to multiple different banks, large corporation banks like Bank of America, Regions, down to small time, uh, small town banks, and uh, they all have their separate fees, and they all have different stipulations on how much you can put in per month, things like that. Pay attention to it. Don't let them nickel and dime you down. For example, one of the banks that I had gone to, a big corporation bank, they only allowed you to put in, like, you could only accumulate up to $2,000 a month into into your business account. So that means, i.e., like someone writing you checks or however have you, which I hope all of you get more business than $2,000 a month starting your business. And what they had was every transaction after is like every $50 after that 2,000, there's a 50-cent fee with it. So there's a 50-cent fee for every $50 after the 2,000. And that may not sound like a lot, but if you get great business and that 50 cent adds up quick, it could be at the end of the month it could be an extra $100, and after 12 months that's $1,200 that you're losing out on. This the bank's just getting. So do pay attention to getting your business account up and going. um, Highly recommend keeping your business account and your personal account separate. Let your business pay you versus having all your funds and everything going into one account. That's just an unhealthy practice. So definitely keep them separated. So after I got my business account, I went ahead and got myself a Square. Square charges 3.5% of the total cost per swipe, and that's if your customer wants to pay with a credit card. Um, Nowadays, not many people pay with checks, and I kind of wanted to avoid the check situation because it would be a hassle for me to have to run someone down and constantly contact them because I did a $200-300 job at their home and they wrote me a check that bounced, and then I had to pay the bouncing fee, and then I don't get any money out of that, and then I have to find them. They may not ever talk to you again. They may move, whatever have you. I avoided that situation completely. I only take cash or card, so that way I know that the transaction goes through. Um, so hopefully the people that are calling you or calling me doing business, hopefully they have the assets to do it. You kind of got to fill them out when you get there. If it's a really rundown place and they don't look like you're doing $1,000 job and it looks like they may not have $1,000, you can charge them up front. There's a couple businesses I watch on YouTube that charge up front, and there's a couple that charge at the end. Personally, me as a consumer, if I was to hire someone to come do anything for me, I would not pay upfront for labor. I would pay up front for materials, yes, because that's, your obligation as a consumer, but I would not pay for labor up front. So do keep that in mind. Kind of stay away from that. But however you want to do it, again, you want it to look professional. You want to go through with that. Business cards. I'm not gonna lie to you. If someone gives me a business card, 9 out of 10 times, I'm gonna throw it away. So with a business card, I didn't go expensive with it. I could stay kind of cheap. I used Vistaprint, which I'm sure everyone's heard of. That's Vistaprint. They, it was like $10 for a pack of 100 cards. You customize it how you want it, put your own logo on there, things like that. One-sided, two-sided, holographic, or shiny, or however you wanted to do it. I just used basic one-sided cards. That way I had the ability to write on the back, prices or whatever have you. If I need to grab someone's number real fast, boom, got a business card out, got their number on the back, done. 10 bucks for 100 makes them 10 cent a pop. That 10 cent that you just wrote on, it's worth it because you're gonna make money off of that. So going through a business cards, that's totally up to you how you want to run things. Yeah, doing business cards could be good or bad. So work order. So your receipts, your invoices. There's multiple ways you can do invoices. You can have them emailed to people. You can get your own printer and then go get a Google template of a invoice and have Google uh, the template and print it out. Write yourself a copy. Write them a copy so that way they have the stuff. They signed on it saying that you can do the work. Things like that. Or you can go get yourself some nice two-sided carbon copy paper. So I ordered mine off of Amazon. Again, it was like 38 bucks for 300. I got to put my own name on it, my own logo, phone number, my name, things like that. Things that, an invoice. A lot of people are going to keep an invoice because they have to show their landlords. Most of the time, in the carpet cleaning industry, a lot of people move out and the landlord charges them, for carpet being cleaned or what have you, and they have to provide proof of that. So an invoice is a great thing. Carbon copy, one for you, one for the customer. You know what I mean? It's a good thing to have. Makes you look professional when you're using a carbon copy versus having to write two paper copies down. Like I said, professionalism is huge in this business, and or really any business. If you look like you're professional, and even if you don't know what the hell you're doing, if you look professional, 9 out of 10 times people are gonna refer you and call you back, things like that. So definitely go with that. For advertising, advertisement is a very expensive but could be profitable. So for example, Yelp, again, when you start your business and you start a Yelp, they're gonna hound you. So I was on the phone with one nice lady from Yelp. She explained to me everything about Yelp, showed me percentages. There's all kinds of Yelp business that you can see when someone clicks on your page, how much they, how it's like Google Analytics. They can kind of see what um, what people are clicking on, if they call you, how long you're on the phone with you, things like that. That's all tracked. So it's very expensive. So Yelp was charging me 570 a month to be at the top of Yelp, and personally, when I use Yelp, I don't use it for anything but restaurants or maybe like an amusement park or something like that, somewhere I've never been before. Um, so I wasn't very keen on using Yelp to do that for carpet cleaning, but Google, they both do a thing. Google and Yelp, they both do a thing where they you only pay for how many times someone clicks your page. So it makes it kind of difficult to believe whether or not, because Google is a business, and as much as they hound you, as much as Yelp hounds you, What's not to say that someone's behind the scenes clicking your page 1,000 times, running the bill up, right? So it's very hard for me to believe that they don't do that. So I kind of backed off of using that. So I'm going with I purchased some uh, yard signs, and I'm gonna do the yard sign route. We got a lot of Facebook pages in the area for buy sell, for trades. There's all kinds of Facebook pages, and I'm just posting my ads on there. Um, so I'm going that route instead. So I'm gonna let that kind of bring me some money in first, and once I, start acquiring a little bit more money, then I may go with, paying Google and being on top of Google. Um, so to my phone's going off because I'm saying Google. So anyways, House Pro. I'm sorry, House Call Pro. House Call Pro is a website that customers that book your service receive a text when you're on the way. It lets them, gives them a 24-hour heads up kind of thing. It's very professional site to use. Um, you just it's all automated when they go through your website and they book a date. It fits right into your website. It's really nice to have. Um, I'm considering using it. It gives the customer a 24-hour heads up. It lets them know when you're on the way. If they're not home, it lets them know when the job is complete. Things like that. Very easy to use. I don't remember how much it was. I want to say it was like 25, 30 a month, or maybe more than that. Uh, it wasn't necessarily cheap, but it's a pretty interesting professional service to have. So I did that. So those are the kind of things that I did to start my business. Um, you're gonna have a lot of trials and revelations going through starting a business. It's you need a lot of time, and if you're working a job and you're trying to start a business off the second, on the side, trying to moonlight, or hopefully switching from your main job, going off, maybe you're at a dead end job, or you don't want to be there anymore. You just count the days down until you can quit and work your other job. I highly recommend you being, having some source of income. Don't go out on a limb, quit your job, start a business, because if you don't get the business that you want or need, for example, if you don't get the business that you need to pay off your bills, you could be in some real hurt. So I highly recommend, staying with who you're working at. Um, but you need to put in the hours. It's a lot of work, but it'll pay off. It'll pay off. So by you doing all this that you're doing now into your business, it's an investment, right? You're investing in your business, you're investing in yourself. It's a very important thing to do, and um, you know it'll pay off in the future. So that's kind of what I have for starting a carpet cleaning business. If you're starting some other business, you can definitely take some away that I had said, um, and perhaps use it for you. Um, but if you have any questions, comments, or anything like that that I can ask, or I'm sorry, assist you with, just leave them in the comments, and I'll get back to them as quickly as I can. Um, but yeah, definitely do the business plan. Do the business plan. Sit down, think on it really hard, spend a couple days on it, spend some time, your off time on it, get the business plan going. And anyways, God bless. Hope you guys best of luck starting a business. Again, if you have any comments, concerns, questions, just leave them down in the comment section, and I'll get right back to them from what I know. Um, yeah, thanks. Thanks for watching.